Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be doing a May book haul. So these are books that I purchased over the month of May, and I feel like I need to be on a book buying ban after this because I did accumulate a lot of books throughout kind of the first part of the year as I did in my last haul. So I feel like now my TBR is kind of out of control, so I need to kind of really just ban some book buying for the near distant future. So this will probably be the last book haul for a while. I know there's like a few new releases that I've already pre-ordered, so there might be one at the end of the summer, but for right now this will be the last book haul for a little bit. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Starting out, I first have these travel books. So me and my siblings are doing a Edinburgh, London, Paris trip in the summer, and then from there I'll be going to Barcelona to visit some family friends. So everywhere we go kind of internationally besides Canada, which is home, I always get kind of a travel book. So you can see I've already started tabbing everything on things I want to go and all that. So I find these useful, and there's just like nice books to collect the more I kind of travel and explore. And then in addition to getting kind of the country books by like Rick Stevens, I also get the little pocket ones for each city. I find this is really useful. It's very small. I can fit it in my purse. You can bring it with me on the trip. Usually I don't bring these big giant books with me. But I do have like these little small ones. I have one for Barcelona too when we went a couple years ago. So yeah, this is just helpful kind of figuring out what I want to do, what we want to see, and all that stuff. I was so excited when this finally came out in paperback because for my Inspector Gamache series, I have all of them in paperback because most of them I bought at half price books. And so when the new ones come out, I have to wait until they come out on paperback. So for the most recent one, The Madness of Crowds, I finally got on paperback because like this cover is just beautiful, and there's one coming out in November too, so I'm really excited. But this one was very interesting. It takes place in like a post-COVID world. It does address COVID and the pandemic, which was really interesting because from a literature point of view, I haven't really read anything that addresses the COVID-19 pandemic. I've seen it in like TV shows and all that, but for the majority of kind of media, I haven't seen it in books. And this kind of raises some important questions about, like some things that were kind of brought up during the pandemic, which I think is really interesting. So yeah, I'm just happy that I finally have this beautiful copy on my shelves that go along with all of the other books in the series as well. This summer, for whatever reason, I really just want to marathon a lot of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. So I have Daisy Jones and the Six, and the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I also saw when I was picking up The Madness of Crowds, I saw this one has also come out on paperback too. So I kind of want to, like I said, I want to read these throughout the summer. I feel like these are going to be good summer reads, but this one sounds really interesting. So it says Malibu, August 1983. It's the day of Nina Riva's annual end of the summer party, and anticipation is at a fever pitch. Everyone wants to be around the famous Rivas. Nina, the talented surfer and supermodel, brother Jay and Hud, and one a championship surfer, the other a renowned photographer, and their adored baby sister Kit. Together the siblings are a source of fascination, especially as the offspring of the legendary singer Mick Riva. By midnight the party will be completely out of control. By morning the Riva mansion will have gone up in flames. But before the first spark, in the early hours before dawn, the alcohol will flow, the music will play, and the loves and secrets that shaped this family's generations will all come rising to the surface. I think this sounds super interesting. Like I said, I want to kind of read her other books before I go into this one because I think this is like one of the characters, I think in Daisy Jones and the Six, or one of those ones, is about this. That's like loosely appears in that one. So yeah, I feel like these are just going to be kind of just fun summer reads. So this is one that I was so excited for, and I was happy that I was also able to get a signed copy from Barnes & Nobles, and it is the Office BFFs by Jenna Fischer and Angela Kinsey. I love their podcast about The Office, so I was really excited when they said they had like a book kind of talking about their experience of becoming friends over kind of throughout The Office, their experiences throughout the different seasons, and I guess maybe kind of, yeah, just throughout the different things. So there's like pictures here throughout, which is a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm just like an Office super fan, so anything Office related, I have the what is it called, the oral history of The Office by Brian Bauminster, which I also have signed as well. So I'm just kind of collecting my signed Office books. So yeah, I definitely can't wait to pick this one up. Like, I love The Office so much, and I just can't wait to kind of dive in. And this book was a lot bigger than what I was expecting too. So like, this is just your standard paperback. So I was very surprised by the size of this one. But like I said, it is signed too, which is fun. So I was really excited about that. But that is exciting. So there is also something about summertime that makes me want to read nonfiction for whatever reason. I think it's because it's kind of the off-school season, and I'm not as, like, coursework, I'm done with coursework forever, but I was reading a lot of kind of books about racism, and these are ones that I had my eye on, but their prices were a little bit too high, so I've noticed that they've come down since I was originally looking. So the first one is Caste, The Origins of Our Discontent. Sorry, the books are sliding around everywhere, by Isabel Wilkerson. This is one that I wanted to read a couple summers ago, but like I said, the price was fairly high. Like, if for US it's 32 and Canadian it's 42, so the price has finally gone down. But this is one that I've heard really great things about, and like I said, I think it's always important to kind of read more books about racism so you can be an anti-racist. So I think that's very important. So Isabel Wilkerson gives us a masterful portrait of an unseen phenomenon in America as she explores through an immersive, deeply researched narrative and stories about real people how America today and throughout its history has been shaped by a hidden caste system, a rigid hierarchy of human rankings. I think this one will be very interesting. I've seen this book everywhere. I've seen everyone talk about this, so I think this is just, I'm happy that I was able to find, the price was able to go down a little bit so I could actually afford the book. I think this is going to be very insightful, and like I said, I've heard nothing but great things. So this one is interesting because I heard they interviewed this author on my local news not too long ago, and I was like, oh, that one sounds really interesting because I haven't heard anything about this, and just the reviews on this one were just, again, very stand out. And it is The Sum of Us, What Racism Costs Everyone and How We Can Prosper Together by Heather Mcghee. And yeah, like I said, I was just really kind of intrigued by her interview and just the book that she has written. I've heard really great things. They were just kind of raving about it on the news, and she was just very well spoken. I really liked, she's just, I don't know, I was just like blown away by how amazing she is and like everything that she's accomplished too. Like, I was just like, you go, girl. But yeah, this is another one that I think it says her specialty is the American economy and the mystery of why it often fails the American public. From financial crises to raising student debt to collapsing public infrastructure, she found a root problem: racism in our politics and policies, making that cost us all. Racism in our politics and policy making that costs us all. I think, and it is the common denominator of our most vexing public problems, the dysfunction of our democracy, and the spiritual and moral dilemmas that grips us all. I think this, like I said, I was really intrigued by her interview, and I think because she does focus on the economy, I think that will be really interesting to see. And this was also a National Book Award long list. So like I said, like, I was just blown away by her interview and just everything, like just her perspective on things and her research into these topics. So I was like, I need to pick up my copy right away. And lastly, this is one my sister read actually, and she recommended it to me, so I picked up my own copy as well, and it is Hood Feminism, Notes from the Woman That a Movement Forgot by Mikki Kendall. Again, this basically talks about today's feminist movement has a glaring blind spot, a paradox, and paradoxically it is women. Mainstream feminists rarely talk about meeting basic needs as a feminist issue, argues Mikki Kendall, but food security, access to quality education, safe neighborhoods, a living wage, and medical care are all feminist issues. All too often, however, the focus is not on basic survival for many, but on increasing privilege for the few. How can we stand in solidarity as a movement? So I think this one is a collection of essays talking about kind of white feminism and how a lot of times in kind of feminist movements, a lot of, minority women are forgotten about. So this one is, like I said, my sister really liked it, and so I think this one will also be very interesting as well. So like I said, I just was happy I was able to pick this one up as well. So my boyfriend is also a very big book lover. He reads super fast, but he reads a lot of sci-fi and fantasy. So we went out to dinner one time and it was right next to Barnes and Noble. So afterwards, after we had dinner, we went there and he picked up 2 books for me. The first one being Jade City by Fonda, which he read and really enjoyed, and the next one being The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I was talking about how several years ago I got like 50 pages into the 5th season and then just DNF'd it. But he said it's definitely one that you just need to kind of push through and kind of just, it takes a while to get your footing within this world. So I said I will give it a second chance. But basically he said for Jade City, it says, for centuries honorable greenbone warriors have used magical jade to enhance their abilities and defend the island of Kikon from foreign invasion. Now the war is over and a new generation vies for control of Kikon's bustling capital city. 4 siblings of the powerful Call family must prepare for battle, and the fragile peace between the clans is about to break. He said he really enjoyed this one. He said it was kind of like an urban fantasy too, which I feel like I haven't read a lot of, so I'm really excited. Like I said, he really enjoyed it, and I've seen also other booktubers mention this one as well. So, and it was also winner of the World Fantasy Awards, so high expectations here. And then kind of the 5th season as well. I think it's kind of, it started with the Great Red Rift across the world of the world's sole continent, spewing ash that blots out the sun. It starts with death, with a murdered son and a missing daughter. It starts with betrayal, a long dormant wound rising up to fester. This is, like I said, I got like 50 pages into it, but he said this is one definitely that you kind of, it takes a while to get your footing and you're not really supposed to know what's going on. Like I said, I've heard really great things about this throughout the years. I know Sunbeam Jest used this trilogy as part of her master's dissertation and thesis. So this book is, and it's all, I think all 3 books in this trilogy are winner of the Hugo Awards. So this is a critically acclaimed series that I think I just need to give a second chance. So this is also a book my boyfriend recommended. He read this one too and he thought I would really like it. And it is Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfischer. I apologize for the birds chirping, but I have to turn my fan off to not kind of distort the video, and I get very hot with the light here, so I have to keep my window open. But it says, Mara never wanted to be a hero. As the shy, convent-raised third-born daughter, she escaped the traditional fate of princesses, to be married away for the sake of an uncaring throne. But her sister wasn't so fortunate, and after years of silence, Mara is done watching her suffer at the hands of a powerful and abusive prince. Seeking help from her rescue mission, Mara is offered the tools she needs, but only if she can complete 3 seemingly impossible tasks. Build a dog of bones, sew a cloak of nettles, and capture moonlight in a jar. But as it is the way with tales of princes and witches, doing the impossible is only the beginning. Here or not, and now joined by a disgraced ex-knight, a reluctant fairy godmother, and a enigmatic grave witch and her foul familiar, Mara might finally have the courage to save her sister and topple a throne. This one just sounds super interesting. I love the premise of kind of the tasks, and this one is also fairly short too. It is under 250 pages, and it is also a standalone, he told me, so I think this one will be just a fun, quick read. But like I said, he really liked it, and he was like, oh, I think you would really like this, so naturally I picked myself up a copy. Alrighty, so we are down to our last 2 books. The first one is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is another book that has been on my TBR for a while, and I was like, you know what? I just need, or on my wish list, so I'm just going to pick it up. So it says, Barcelona, 1945. A city slowly heals from its war wounds, and Daniel, an antiquarian book dealer's son who mourns the loss of his mother, finds solace in a mysterious book entitled The Shadow of the Wind by one Julian Carax. But when he sets out to find the author's other works, he makes a shocking discovery. Someone has been systematically destroying every copy of this book ever written. In fact, Daniel may have the last of Carax's, I don't know if I'm Caro's, books in existence. Soon Daniel's seemingly innocent quest opens a door into one of Barcelona's darkest secrets, an epic story of murder, madness, and doomed love. I think this just sounds super interesting. I've heard this is kind of a book for book lovers, kind of around that, and it taking place in Barcelona will be fun too, because I've been there. I'm going there in the summer. I have a family friend that lives there too, so yeah, this one just sounds super interesting. Yeah, like I said, it's like a love letter to book readers and like book lovers. So yeah, this one, like I said, has been on my wish list for a while, and I was like, it's time to pick it up. And lastly, this is also a book that my boyfriend recommended to me, and so naturally I picked up a copy, and it is The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. So it says, the Emperor's reign has lasted for decades. His mastery of bone shard magic powering the animal-like constructs that maintain law and order. But now his rule is failing, and revolution is sweeping across the Empire's many islands. When the Emperor refuses to recognize his daughter as heir to the throne, she vows to prove her worth by mastering the forbidden art of bone shard magic. Yet such magic carries a deadly cost. I think this one sounds just like a fun fantasy. Like I said, my boyfriend really liked this one too, so I have a lot of fantasy series that I will be kind of picking up throughout the year, but I think this one sounds super interesting. I haven't really read anything that kind of deals with this type of bone magic, so like I said, I'm very excited to see what is in store. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this book haul. Like I said, this probably will be the last one for a while. So there are a few like new releases coming out over the summer that I think 2 of them are already pre-ordered, but for the most part I really want to focus on books that I currently have and own to read. So there won't be a lot of book hauls in the future, so this will be the last one for a while, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what some of the books that you read or purchased over the past month or so and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.